Namaskar, and welcome to Delhi Law Firm, your trusted legal partner, where every complex law is explained in a simple and clear way. Imagine, someone's entire legal battle depends on a 50-year-old document, and the most important signature on that document, someone firmly believes it's fake, that forgery has been done.
At first glance, it sounds simple. Just call a handwriting expert, they'll examine it and the truth will come out. But is it really that simple?
It may sound straightforward, but in reality, it raises a much deeper legal question. A court cannot act merely on suspicion, it must follow a defined legal process, supported by solid evidence. Sometimes that very process becomes the foundation of justice itself.
So, today's discussion is about that very process. When can a court call an expert and when not?
Exactly. Today we'll understand a recent Supreme Court judgment, Hussain bin Awaz vs. Mittapalli Venkataramulu 2025, which explains when and how handwriting examination can be ordered by a court.
So, first tell me, what was this case about?
It was a 50-year-old land dispute. One party claimed the land belonged to them and presented an old 1975 document as evidence. The other party said, "These signatures are suspicious, they're forged."
So the court now had a big question. Are the signatures genuine or fake? And when the judge himself isn't a handwriting expert, what should he do?
That's where Section 45 of the Indian Evidence Act comes in. It allows the court to seek expert opinion on matters such as science, art, foreign law, or handwriting. So a handwriting expert can be called under this very Section 45.
Alright, the expert is called. But what will the expert compare the disputed signature with? They can't just compare it in the air.
Excellent question. The answer lies in Section 73. It says that comparison can only be made with signatures that are either admitted in court or proved through evidence to be genuine.
Meaning there must already be an established genuine sample. Only then comparison is possible.
Exactly. This is the legal safeguard, so that anyone cannot simply point fingers at any document and waste the court's time. The law wants every examination to rest on a solid foundation, not on assumptions.
And if the court wishes, can it ask someone to write in front of it for verification?
Yes, Section 73 gives the court the power to ask a person to write in its presence to obtain a fresh and reliable specimen for comparison.
Then what went wrong in this case? If everything is so clear, how did it reach the Supreme Court?
Here's where the story gets interesting. The trial was already over, all witnesses examined, all arguments concluded. Just before the judgment, the defendants applied, "Send the 1975 document for forensic examination."
After the trial was over, that really sounds like a late move.
The trial court thought the same and dismissed the application. The judge said, "You had full opportunity during trial, now it's too late."
That seems fair. Then why did the High Court reverse it?
Because the High Court said, in the interest of justice, meaning for the sake of justice, the document should be examined.
But this phrase, "in the interest of justice," though it sounds right, how correct is it legally?
That's where the Supreme Court stepped in. It clearly said, the interest of justice cannot become a ground to ignore the law. Justice doesn't only lie in the outcome, it lies equally in the fairness of the process.
So, whose side did the Supreme Court take? Emotion or procedure?
Procedure. The court said the defendants wanted an examination, but they had not provided even a single genuine signature of the grandfather for comparison. This was nothing but a fishing expedition, searching for evidence without any solid base.
So, the court cannot be turned into an investigator.
Absolutely. Whoever alleges forgery must also bring the proof. The court cannot function merely on suspicion.
So, what was the final verdict of the Supreme Court?
The court set aside the High Court's order, restored the trial court's decision and said, Sections 45 and 73 can be invoked only to compare signatures on an admitted or proved document.
Meaning, without a genuine sample, no right to seek examination.
Exactly. And the court also reaffirmed the burden of proof. The person who claims ownership or makes an allegation must prove it himself.
So, now those who file such applications just to delay cases, their route is closed.
Right. This judgment strengthens the efficiency of courts. The message is clear. If you claim a signature is fake, you must provide a genuine one for comparison.
But think about this. Today, most documents are digital. E-signatures, biometrics, fingerprints. So, what will courts do in such cases?
Very good question. In the future, the meaning of admitted or proved handwriting may evolve into cryptographic keys, fingerprints, or retinal scans. It's a new legal challenge, and our judicial system must start preparing for it today.
We are Delhi Law Firm, your trusted legal partner.
If you're also facing a case where the authenticity of a signature is in question, visit us at dellylawfirm.in.
Legal knowledge made simple.
Only with Delhi Law Firm.